Okay, welcome to our last meeting of 2020. And one comment on 2020, someone said, what name a drink that you could attribute to the year 2020?
Corona.
No,
Kamikaze.
a colonoscopy prep. So let's hope that we're into bigger and better things. So we'll start our meeting today reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
Liberty.
and justice for all. Okay. Well, I guess we didn't get the 15 inches. I just went out and measured. I got 7 inches in my driveway, and that seems to be what the area's gotten. So, and the winds haven't been that terrible. So we bit the, we dodged the bullet on this one again, although it's not the best conditions out there. So be careful if you're going out later. 1 o'clock today, we have our board meeting. And
They said that he have a CMN in North Stamford. We got to
okay, guys, mute yourselves unless.
Everybody.
All right. Let's do our moment of recollection, silent prayer that we get through this pandemic, and that the vaccine is made available expeditiously so that we can all get it, since we're all the age that we're vulnerable. So I thank you. I say we're going to have a board meeting today, and should be an interesting meeting. Both the current and the incoming board members all got invitations, and the agenda items, some of the key points that there's going to be a look ahead for financial look ahead for 2021. We're looking, we're going to try and come up with some thoughts of some activities that we can do as a group, both men and husband and, men and wives or significant others, that we can do safely and not require extensive traveling or carpooling. Then there's a couple of how we want to, as a group, participate or act towards supporting the vaccination program. And
Yeah, Joe.
yeah,
Les Gordon here.
yeah, Les.
Can I say something about the vaccination program?
I would, yeah, why don't we do that a little later, okay? Because that's something we want to bring up less on the, at our board meeting, really. But if you got, just a couple of facts, I know you were looking into a few things, so maybe we can bring that up a little later.
Sure, thank you.
Before we close, before the presentation. Thank you, Les. And that was one of the other that was part of the participation in the vaccine program. So hopefully we'll come back next year with some better direction on where we're going, you know, looking into our crystal ball. And that's it. Today, we're going to have a group of 3 people who are put on this Fraud Watch network. And it was sponsored by AARP nationally. And we're going through the state, the Connecticut state people. And they put these presentations on, and I understand it's been helpful, an awareness of things. You just keep getting bombarded with it on the phones, emails. I just got an email stating my PayPal account had to be updated, and please log in to update. And I was suspicious because a couple of the words weren't grammatically correct, and some of the punctuation was missing. And any corporation that does something, usually they proofread it and put it through, and it's you know, in decent form. And when you look at, if you put your mouse over the person that sent it, you look, and this one had a bunch of undecipherable numbers and letters and at something, and nothing made sense. So that's a clear indication that it's a scam going on. So we'll hear more about that. And please stay. It should be interesting, and it's, you know, we're going to have to protect ourselves and our members from being scammed. Future programs, I said December 24th and the 31st, we're not having any meetings, so this is our last meeting of the year. On January 7th, Mayor Martin is going to present us with the state of the city and the installation of new officers. And the installation should be interesting because we're going to do it. I sent the, you know, we have a prescribed script in our management manual, and I sent that to the mayor's office, but I guess some of it's going to be ad lib. Ira, you got a copy of that, I think. And so I think the only thing that probably is not going to be ad lib is Ira's part. But yeah, we'll muddle through it one way or another and get installed as officers, although it really is a formality. So then on the January 14th, David Pogue, who's, I guess I didn't realize he was that popular. He was a web site and puts on podcasts, and he's been on TV. And his new presentation, How to Prepare for Climate Change. And January 21st, Svetlana Kunin, our Katie, brought her to our attention. And she's going to talk about socialism, capitalism through the eyes of a Soviet immigrant. And unfortunately, we can't have some of our younger generation who think that socialism is the cat's meow. But that should also be interesting. And starting January 14th, the new first vice president of programs will be starting the presentations. Next slide. Speaking of that, Stu's already arranged to have Bobby Valentine present for us on February 18th. And Bobby always draws a great crowd. He's interesting. He's a very entertaining speaker. So mark that date on your calendar. And if you don't invite friends to any of the other Zoom meetings, please make it a point to have your friends pop in on the Zoom meeting, even if it's just the Bobby V's presentation. A way to get new members. So, you know, with the situation, we really haven't gotten that many new members, and thank you to the guys that joined our group during this situation, but we do need members to keep us going and keep the active people, you know, the activities viable. So again, you'll be seeing more of these Bobby Valentine at each meeting. So we'll post them so that everybody keeps remembering, you know, a reminder. Thank you, Stu, for that.
Welcome.
Ira.
Good morning. Last week, our attendance reported was 56. I assume everybody has received the minutes of last week's meeting. And if there are no corrections or additions, I would like to turn this back over to Joe to cast a vote for all of us for approval. In the meantime, I would like to wish everyone happy holidays, happy, healthy New Year.
Thank you, Ira, for both the wishes and for the job that you do as our recording secretary. And one of these days, we're going to find something to make a correction.
Thank you.
So they consider the minutes approved. And I'm sorry I missed, I guess today or tomorrow is the last day of Hanukkah. So help you celebrate heartily for your holidays.
9:20 discussion groups. Today was Lori, and a very exciting and interesting presentation, the last one of this year. As we enter 2021, we start off on January 7th with Joe D talking about investing. January 14th, Bob Butke is on technology. January 21, Lori Price, although it says investing, I think the general category is finance. And on January 28th, Joe D on current events. So that is the current schedule. And we look forward to as many participants as possible coming on a little bit early at 9:20. Next slide. This looks like a picture of yesterday's walk at Irwin Park. I recognize Lou, Jerry and Joan Krantz, Franco, and I'm not sure who the guy in the red jacket is, but
That would be me, Dave Kaplan.
oh, hi, Dave. Hope you guys had a great walk. I was in warm weather. It looks like you guys were bundled up and got in before the snow, so great. Next week's walk is at Waveney Park. Again, a beautiful venue and nice exercise. Get a chance to have some impersonal interaction with people in the group. And hopefully a lot of guys and or their spouses will join.
Larry, this is Carl. We're skipping the next 2 weeks, just like skipping meetings.
Okay,
The next walk is January 6th, as it says at the top of the slide.
Okay, got it. I didn't notice that. Thank you for the correction. Very good. Well, everybody have a happy holidays, and we will be discussing at the board meeting what future activities we might be able to put together in the first quarter of at least the first quarter of next year. So, but if anybody has an idea and is not attending the board meeting, please feel free to present it either during the discussion or at any time via an email.
Hey, Larry, this is Stu. Just a quick suggestion. If people have an idea right now about what they might want to see, they can just type it in the chat box, so we'll get to see it before the meeting.
Okay, or they can bring it up during the discussion section of this.
Either way, yeah.
So that's it for now. And again, wishing everybody a healthy, happy, and peaceful New Year.
Okay, membership. Do we have any guests or visitors this morning? Okay. Some of you may have noticed that the total membership numbers have changed from the previous slides. I'm not really sure what the change was, but looking at the numbers, we're ending the year at about the same level we've closed the years in the last few years running. I've got more information on that to be presented at the board meeting, but it was a slight decrease. We had slightly fewer members leave. We've lost some members for various reasons. We've two more than we've acquired as new members, which is a pretty unusual situation for us. Normally our new membership is way up not way up, it's in the double digits, so close to 2 dozen. So understandable. It didn't happen this year, but we look forward to a strong year next year. Meanwhile, we are continuing dues collections. Out of the 182 regular members, we've received contributions from 104. So we're over the halfway point, and I encourage you to continue. The deadline is December 31st, and we encourage you all to get the dues in as quickly as possible. What happens is eventually, towards the end of January, I start following up on people, annoying them individually to pay. And most of my time is consumed at that time, and Bob Budke's time when he had the position was following up on people who have not been in contact with us by email and phoning them to find out whether they've just forgotten to pay the dues, whether they've moved, whether they've gone inactive. And I'd rather the list of people I contact like that is as short as possible. So I encourage everybody who does intend to continue with membership in 2021 to please get your dues in as early as possible to lighten my workload. Thank you.
Bill?
Good morning. It's the last time we could wish people happy Hanukkah, and anticipating the Christmas season and the new year. We look forward to good things. We have this bit of bad news that was passed on. I spoke with Bruce yesterday. He hasn't been online with us, but he really respects and loves SMAS. Dick Fisher has big news to share. Dick? Are you there, Dick?
Hi. Okay. My son, Michael, is leaving National Life Group in Vermont, where he does IT work, and he's taken a job with a company called ServiceNow. And if you get the New York Times on Monday, this was a wrapper on New York Times on Monday, which was sponsored by ServiceNow. So what it said was, see how the change maker in chief, Santa Claus, changed the business of Christmas with ServiceNow. So it's a group that actually is one of the leading groups in the field in doing combinations of, frankly, above my level, what they do. I try to get it. Anyhow, thanks.
Any other news?
Yes, I would like to share my experience. My wife, about months ago, picked up this coronavirus, and she has diabetes. And the effect of this virus was such that she lost capability to eat because virus changed effect of medication she was using to control her sugar. And I told immediately her to go to hospital, but she refused. But 3 days later, after not eating for 3 days, she agreed to go to the hospital. So, and spent 4 days there. And now she, returned from hospital about 2 weeks ago. And she had visited her doctor on Monday this week, and now she is free from the virus, thanks God, and she is back to normal. And I asked her to ask doctor to send me for testing on virus. Should I go and test? And doctor tell her that I should not go for testing because of my close contact with her. I had virus for sure, but it had almost no effect on me. So different people are affected differently. And I would like to encourage everybody that this disease is really could be deadly. And go to hospital immediately once you feel the problem.
Thank you, Archie.
Yeah, thank you.
Carl, you passed some news earlier about John Sedlak.
No, that was Dave Kaplan.
Oh, Dave?
Yeah, I spoke to John yesterday. He had a little setback late last week and was admitted to Stamford Hospital over the weekend. He's pretty good spirits, but they're still performing tests. Evidently, his case of lymphoma has raised some questions as to treatment. So they still don't know how they're going to go forward, although invariably it will be some form of chemo. I've posted his phone number at Stamford Hospital in the chat. I know that he would appreciate calls from members just to boost his spirits.
Okay. For those that didn't take it down, I wrote it down. It's he's in room 601. Unfortunately, I believe they still are not allowing general visitors at the hospital, but the phone number is 203-355-4601. So, and I believe it's still in the message chat area.
Yeah, it's still there.
It is, yeah.
And the phone rings directly in his room.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yep.
Dave.
I have 2 items of good news. Tyra Bernstein. Number 1, my oldest granddaughter, who's an IBMer, as a number of our members had been, got engaged this weekend to a great guy. So we're going to be very happy to add him to the family. Secondly, another granddaughter, the one who works for McKinsey, has been accepted to Wharton School of Business with scholarship for her master's.
Terrific. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Smart family.
They have good inheritances from other people.
That's true.
Don't believe yourself, Ira.
Anybody else have some news to share? All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil, Dave.
Thank you.
Okay. Eddie, you want to talk on your Unmute yourself.
Do it this way. Okay, good morning, everyone. Still looking for additions or subtractions to our contractor list. We have received about 4 of them so far. Appreciate it, and I look forward to more, and we will get the list out in January, and even during the year, if something comes up, we can certainly add to it. Thank you all. Have a great, happy, and healthy, and much better 2021.
Thank you, Ed. Oh, just by the way, a real minor correction. In my daughter's name, there's no H in Christina.
It will be adjusted momentarily.
Thank you, Ed. I know it's a task, and I found the contractor list. It's not only contractors, it's maybe we're going to call it SMAS service provider list, because there's more than contractors. There's doctors, attorneys, accountants, as well as service people, contractors, and
That's a good idea, Joe.
I find it helpful because I'll always check and look into who's had good service from various people in town. So it's a helpful list, and it only is good if, like anything else, we contribute to it. If you've had somebody do your yard or driveway or whatever, tree service, and you were satisfied with them and their prices were fair, let Ed know, and he'll include it in the list for everybody else to use.
Thank
Next,
you.
Dick Harper, Book Club.
Good morning, everybody. The next book, as you see, Splendid in the Vial, the Splendid is pretty much Winston Churchill. And it's kind of a very amazing story of how he took hold of England when they were spinning out of control in the face of the German, potential German offensive. And it's a pretty easy read as you go through the book, but very interesting. A lot of side incidents to fill in the color for the book. And then the next book is quite different. We've been reading a lot of war books. So here's a different kind of war, fighting the cold and the ice in the North Pole and the Hampton Sides. Is a very good storyteller. So January 20 and March 3rd, and then any suggestions for future books? RichardHarper.online. Happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you, Dick.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want to welcome Byron, Harry, and John from AARP to our meeting. They're online at this point, and welcome.
Thank you, Joe. Glad you invited us. Glad to be here, and look forward to sharing information with you and your group of members there.
Thank you, Byron. Okay, Jack.
Yes.
You're on. You have anything to further to report on the food bank, or put a pitch in for?
Well, I mentioned last time that she really can't give us a final number, but she was very thankful that we're doing this, and I see it right up in front of me now, and it's beautiful. So thank you and the senior men for posting it, and we hope she'll get a good amount of money. Otherwise, thank God I have nothing to say, which is very rare.
Truly. Thank you, Jack.
Are you going to send out that list of contractors in the email, Ed, by the way?
Yeah, that's usually posted on the website in the members only section, but probably could get it and send it out as an email, the first issue of it, so that every member has it directly.
Well, it'd be nice because, you don't think about, it comes and you post it and it's great to have.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all I've got, Joe. Can't do much more.
Thank you, Jack.
Quite welcome.
Okay, and remember, on the food bank, we can make donations either through direct mail or on their website. And note that it's from through the SMAS. Okay, Les Gordon, you want to fill us in on some of the information? And like I say, we're going to discuss it, Les's suggestions at the board meeting, and see how we present it to the group. Go ahead,
All
Les.
right. Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to mention, I'm affiliated with community health centers here in Connecticut. I'm on their board of directors. And just briefly, they are the largest community health center in the state. And they will be getting their first shipment of vaccines in next week. They're getting the Moderna version of it. And they will start using it to inoculate their medical staff and then medical people and first responders. I spoke to them about doing a vaccination program for the seniors men group, and they would be happy to do it. But because of the allocations and the priority arrangement, they probably will not be able to administer it until late in January, more likely in February at the earliest. And but if the senior men's group wants to avail themselves of the service, I will stay in touch with them, and we could set an appropriate date to have it done once they get it. And they would arrange to do it either at their facility on 22 Fifth Street or some mutually convenient location. But that's about all I have now. The Moderna vaccine is the one that requires 2 shots, the first one, and then the second one 28 days later. It supposedly would be good to protect the recipient and also protect the recipient from transmitting it to somebody else. So that's about all I have right now. If you're, I'll try to keep you posted as to dates, and we can all make up our mind later on whether you want to avail themselves of that service.
Les, I have a question for you. Before, about a week ago, Monday, I guess it was, my wife and I went to Scalzi Park just for a routine test, and I think it was administered by the community health center because they're the people who emailed the negative results to us. I found it interesting, though, that it was staffed by U.S. Army personnel. Is that
they have had to staff up tremendously because they have 2 locations here in Stamford where they're doing testing. Plus, they have a mobile van that a pop-up that's going into specific neighborhoods to administer testing, and they're doing this throughout the state. They're in very close contact with the state, and they have utilized some National Guard personnel to back them up when they're shorthanded. So that's why you saw the National Guard people there.
Oh, well, they did a great job.
Yeah, they do a good job, yes.
I reported the results pretty quick, 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, recently I had a test there myself at Scalzi, and I had the results back in under 48 hours. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Do you need a prescription to get a test?
No, anybody can drive up there or walk up there. They're doing it at both Scalzi Park and Cove Island, 7 days a week, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30.
And what do you do after you get the test and you're positive?
Well, what they do, or what they've been doing, is if you're negative, they send you an email and you can log on to their website and you see the results. If it's positive, supposedly someone calls you to tell you you're positive. And if it is positive, the recommendation is that you contact your primary care physician to see what further steps are needed.
The most difficult thing I found was when you went on their website, was to figure out what it was. And it's so if anybody's using that, that's what it is. And then you have to create your own password.
Yeah, well, that you have to do that initially, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Les, we'll bring this up today, how, we want to participate, whether we want to participate and promote it as a group or individually. And, but I think, it's a very worthwhile way to go. And thank you for, the effort you put into this. Looking into it for us, and certainly we'll get back, let you know so that we can pursue it further.
Les,
Okay.
if we go forward with that, would it also include spouses?
Yes, so it would include spouses, significant others. I would assume anyone in your household who meets the criteria of the being over, I think it's 65 or 60, I forget what it is, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Stu, do you have anything else to discuss?
Yeah, concerning our presentations and programs, I would just ask the guys, if you have people that you know that make good presentations on interesting topics, to please let me know, or Bob Loop, or any of the members of the committee, Jose or Ed. We appreciate that. We have already programs through February set up, so I think we're off to a good start, but we could certainly use some ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Stu. Are there any other items for discussion?
Just one more question for Stu. Stu, maybe it would be a good idea. I know we used to keep a spreadsheet on programs that are coming up over the next few months or so.
Yes.
Distributed that to the membership. That's also a good recruiting thing. So you may want to, if you've got it together through February, distribute it to, or maybe Carl could distribute it, or Dick.
Sure, I am keeping a spreadsheet, and I'd be glad to do that. Sure.
Yeah. When you get, Stu, when you get speakers and you get them signed up, what I've done is send it both to Carl and Steve Fisher. And Steve posts it on the website and gets it out to everybody.
Okay, good. I didn't. All right. Thanks for the procedure. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any other items for discussion? Okay. Anybody have any jokes? Alan Jaffe, where you been, Alan? We're waiting.
Oh, you missed me?
Yeah.
Well, Shakespeare walks into a bar and asks the bartender for a beer. The bartender says, "I can't serve you. You're barred."
Oh.
B-A-R-D, barred.
Stu, you got your hand up. Was that from before?
Yes.
I got another one if we got time.
Yeah,
A man walks into a bar and wait, a man walks into a bar and he ended up needing 10 stitches. He walked into a bar.
Oh, groan.
You must have got that from
Potato.
Mark.
All right.
you know what, guys? If those are the extent of